Hello, pilots, and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have another sequel matchup. We have the Resistance versus the First Order. I mean, we've had two new packs recently, so you kind of expected to see them quite a bit. So let's crack straight into it. Joining me for this today, though, we do have...
James, the resident Resistance pilot. I can think of a last one for alliteration purposes, but yes, I'm here.
Let's go with Resident Resistance Rookie for the time being then, shall we?
Oh, I feel like I'm better than that, but all right, sure.
Okay, so yeah, again, we've got Resistance versus First Order, so it feels only right that James run us through that Resistance list, letting us know what we got today.
Yes, so Madbots has brought Chewbacca in the Falcon with Heroic, the new overtuned modulators, and the Raised Millennium Falcon title. Greer Sonnel in the A-Wing with Heroic and Predator. Teza Naz's, I'm assuming is the surname, in the new Y-Wing for the Resistance with targeting synchronizer, a dorsal turret, and an engine upgrade. There's no wartime loadout on this, so has the default ability on the Y-Wing.
Interesting.
And rounding off the list is Lieutenant Bastion with the integrated S-foils and the free jamming beam.
I'm wondering if there wasn't enough points to fit the wartime loadout in there. But with
maybe. I'm curious to see how well the combo with engine upgrade works.
And targeting synchronizer, because they would both trigger the standard ability on there. So obviously, if you do an action off of an upgrade card, that gives you a counter.
No, targeting synchronizer doesn't give you a target lock action. It lets you share target locks with your friends for secondary weapons. But actually, there aren't any others on there.
No.
Curious as to what's going on with that. But yeah, definitely the engine upgrade works with the intuitive interface.
I mean, it's a cool ability. I just really love the wartime loadout.
Yeah, the extra health for the wartime loadout is good, but I've not seen it played without that loadout, so I'm curious to see what goes on here. But what has Fraser brought for the First Order?
I mean, he looks to have brought pretty much everything. Or it could just be that that bomber is so big it fills up a lot of the table. He has Breach in the aforementioned bomber with feedback ping, proton torpedoes, electro chaff missiles, First Order ordnance tech, say that fast 5 times without slipping over, and the proton bombs. We also have Nightfall in the TIE Whisper with Fanatical, Daredevil, Pattern Analyzer, and obviously the Enhanced Jamming Suite. I tend to think nowadays configs are just going on as standard because they're basically 0 points. It's almost not worth not taking them. We also have 3 TIE-FOs. 2 of them are Epsilon Squadron Cadets, and we also have Null rounding out the list, who is a nice little addition, actually. I really
Null
like
is
having
such an interesting ship. It's a really fun ability. While you are not damaged, you're initiative 7. And then as soon as you get hurt, you're 0. Just complete extremes of the initiative order.
And I mean, he's only 30 points as well, basic. I think that he's pretty good. And again, when you say when he's damaged, that doesn't include his shields. It's only when he actually loses a hull point. So you could, if you really wanted to, stick a shield upgrade on him, but that is 8 points. And that means he's initiative 7 longer. But it's a nice little thing to throw in there to really gum up the works for your opponent as well.
But I think we really need to talk about Breach.
I mean,
are there any upgrade slots not being used by Breach?
Yes, he has a modification and tech slot free.
Right.
That's how many slots he has. So he's got everything on there.
He's got a lot of stuff he can launch. He's got bombs out the back. He's got proton torpedoes at the front. He's even got the new electro chaff missile electric cloud thing he can launch out the front at a bit of an angle.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
He's got everything. I mean, he is loaded to the gills. and only 60 points for all of that.
And when you consider like the proton torpedoes are 13 points of that.
12 points.
Oh, they're 12. Sorry.
They're 12, yeah. But still, yeah, when you think that the proton torpedoes are 20% of his points cost, like, it's meant... The bombers are really good value. Like,
and an amazing ship ability.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for a bomber.
Yeah, so during the system phase, you may perform a boost action.
And that can be either before or after you drop a bomb.
Absolutely. What's that? Drop a bomb, do a boost, then get out of there.
Or,
Brilliant.
Oh no, I don't quite have the angle on this bomb. Let me boost over here, drop the bomb on you, and then on my turn, I'll just fly away.
Yeah, it is a brilliant ability. And I just want to point out, I think the ship looks really cool. Like, I know it's huge, but that's the one thing I love about the First Order is how distinctive they look. They've taken that Empire aesthetic and just made it look even more vicious by painting everything black and white and spiky.
It definitely goes with like the whole, like, they are the fanatical Imperials that hung around sort of thing. Like, they're no longer just being like, yeah, we've got a military, we've got TIE fighters. They're like, no, these are our TIE fighters. We are here for the First Order and we're here to strike fear into our enemies.
Yeah. And they've also gone, not only that, we actually want them to last a bit, so we're going to give them a shield.
Yeah, I'm sure many pilots appreciate that.
Oh, yes. I mean, I don't play the First Order nearly enough, but these new ships have really made me think I need to get them on the table more often because they look so good. Like, that black and white is just, it stands out so well. And again, the Whisper and the Bomber are really cool ships. Massive ships, but really cool, and I love them for it.
Absolutely. Whilst we're still sort of on the topic of them, do you want to go over Breach's ability, which again works really well with that boost in the system phase?
Yeah. So Breach's ability, after you fully execute a maneuver or perform a boost action, if you move through an enemy ship, you may acquire a lock on that ship. So that's brilliant. I mean, you do a 3 sloop over your opponent, and yes, it's red, but you still get a target lock because it's acquire a lock, not
it's not take an action. It's not even take a red action. It's just get a lock.
So that in itself is fantastic. Breach has got a lot of things on there to really help with that as well. He's got the feedback ping, which is an interesting talent to say the least.
Yeah, when you sent me the list and I was putting it together in my list builder, I couldn't find it until I realized it was a talent. Yeah. I thought it was like a tech upgrade.
It sounds like it should be a tech upgrade, but it's a talent. It's a cool talent as well. So after a ship executes a maneuver, if it is at range 0 to 1 of a friendly device, you may acquire a lock on that ship ignoring range restrictions. So, and that's not even a device you've dropped. That's
just a friendly device.
Any friendly device. So, admittedly, it does mean that you are giving them that knowledge of you're at range 1. Maybe you should boost a barrel to try and get away.
But to be fair, if they're range 1 of one of your devices, they're probably going to be trying to get away from it anyway.
And to get that, again, another way of getting a free target lock, meaning that you've got more utility in your proton torpedoes there. It's a cool little set of upgrades, and it's definitely something that's making me go, I might have to try that. So it'll be interesting to see how well Fraser is able to pull those off.
Yeah. I've also not yet seen the Chaff missiles in use. Looking forward to hopefully seeing those in action. Yeah,
I think those sorts of things are quite interesting, especially when it brings a new template onto the board. I think people can be a little bit wary of using them at first, but once they get their head around them, you see them more often. So
yeah, there's also a lot of text in terms of the effect of the template and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, but again, I think it's one of those ones of a lot of text, but quite straightforward. What do you think about it? So the Chaff in the system phase, you spend 1 charge to launch the Electro Chaff Cloud using the 3 bank or 4 straight templates. Then you place 1 fuse marker on it. Now, the charge can't be recovered, so you can't reload it, so no spamming that one. While a ship is at range 0 of an Electro Chaff Cloud, it cannot be locked, jammed, or coordinated by other ships. Kind of makes sense, you're in a big cloud of electric. Yeah. After a ship moves through or overlaps an Electro Chaff Cloud, it skips its perform action step, then it gains 1 jam and breaks all locks on it. So you can actually use it to help yourself a little bit there. And while a ship defends, if the attack is obstructed by an Electro Chaff Cloud, it rolls 1 additional defense dice. So it acts like a temporary obstacle, and it's there for 2 rounds.
Yes, it has a fuse marker on it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so again, a lot of text, but really quite straightforward. So just think of it as a new
it's just
obstacle.
Lots of individual effects that they needed to just clarify.
Yeah, definitely. But
there's a nice boost around that cloud from Greer.
Yeah, really tucking it into that cloud. That is
got a little quick.
He's going very quick there. He's definitely being very aggressive.
Got Chewie coming up behind him with the overtune modulators, the new illicit upgrade, which I've
seen it a few times. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's one-time use. During the system phase, if you're not stressed, you can spend the 1 charge to gain 3 calculate tokens, and then during the end phase, for each green token you remove, you gain a strain.
Which on the Falcon, it doesn't really care.
Yeah,
because you've only got
one agility for some turns, sure.
Yeah, and you never know. It could be that you're right in the middle of it. I mean, I could see that being really handy, especially if you had veteran turret gunner on there. And you're right in the middle.
That's potentially why it's on Chewbacca, because he does have the option to shoot multiple times in a round. Yeah, and if you can throw a calculator on each of those attacks, great.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just got to guess when that turn is coming.
Yeah, i.e., all of your other ships are not in a healthy position, and you're close enough to them that when they pop, you get to do those bonus attacks.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've triggered that before, and it is so much fun. Especially when your opponent just sort of looks at themselves and goes, I've done my firing in the wrong order. I shouldn't have shot that other ship first.
Yeah, having Chewie on the board is definitely a target for the opponent to go for first.
Yeah. I mean, large base ships tend to draw fire anyway, but with Chewbacca's ability, so when a friendly ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, Chewbacca can then perform an action and perform a bonus primary attack, if I remember rightly.
Yes, it is an action, and then you can do an attack.
Now, I managed to utilize that by boosting out of someone's bullseye, getting myself into range 1, and then taking an attack. And then it was my turn to attack after. So I got to double tap someone with that. It was brilliant. Worked so well. I felt bad about losing a ship, but then I thought, you know what, this is worked in my favor anyway.
So it looks like we're moving on to some shooting.
Yeah, so that's opening salvo Greer onto the red Epsilon.
There's a lot of green dice.
A lot of green dice and a lot of evades in there as well. So
looks like, who's that going to be?
Oh, I think that's Greer. Sorry, I think the first attack was actually Chewie at range 3.
Oh, was it? Oh, I only saw two red dice on that one.
Yeah.
Either way, no damage.
No damage there. Bit of a speculative early shot. But already it looks like Madbots is definitely going a bit more aggressive into the middle.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a decent opening approach, because whilst Breach has a lot of stuff, in order to get an angle in the next round, he's got to deal with that cloud in the middle of the board.
Yeah. His dial's not terrible. I mean, he's got all the hard maneuvers, but the one is red, so he could potentially boost and then do a 2 hard round.
Oh, of course, yeah, he can do it. He can do a boost.
Yeah,
we've just been talking about the ability.
Absolutely, but yeah, I mean,
it's sort of like what is it? The TIE, the Rogue One ship, Striker.
The Striker, like the adaptive ailerons.
That's the one.
Yeah, it's like a you choose adaptive ailerons.
Although he's in the system phase, so
Yeah,
that's a little different. But yeah,
it's not bad. I mean, we've seen a lot of system phase repositions, a lot of the new standardized configurations as well. The interceptor one for that can be used on the silencer and the tie interceptor also gives that system phase reposition rather than having the double action later. So,
there's
and
the
also
boost.
the ETA 2. Yep, there is the boost. So anticipate a hard turn coming in. Now, those of you that are watching closely probably noticed we're trying something a little bit new here on the channel. So to help speed things up and get into the action as quickly as possible, we are actually speeding up those planning phase sections to keep the action flowing as much as possible. Now, I'm interested to hear what you think about that, guys. So if you like it or you're not a big fan of it, drop a comment down below. We appreciate all your feedback, and it just allows us to keep bringing you the videos that you want to see. So just let us know what you think.
And to be honest, if you're kind of indifferent to the whole thing, leave a comment anyway because it helps the channel.
Yeah. And we'll just message back and say hi. We love having a bit of a chat on the comments as well. So
yeah,
it's always good fun. Ooh, that's nippy there from Red. He's definitely going for a block there. And I think he's probably got Chewie blocked.
Well, I don't know, because
unless he does something really fast, or
depends if Greer can get out of the way and if Chewie's gone slow enough.
I mean, who would you prefer to have a? I mean, if Greer goes at a speed you'd expect, it's probably going to be a 2 because he looks like he's stressed.
See, I feel like Greer may have done like a 2 sharp.
Interesting.
Towards where this X-Wing is now.
So maybe not.
Although, actually, Bastion could clear the stress, right? Because Bastion is after a ship at range. Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of a different T-70 pilot that I never really use. Tubbs, that's the guy. After you move and do a blue, you can strip a stress token off of a friend who's close by.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many T-70s and T-65 pilots nowadays.
I use T-70s all the time, and I still forget who's who. So
I use interceptors all the time, but I haven't used all the interceptor pilots yet. And there's nowhere near as many as there are T-70 pilots, to be honest.
So which one is Bastion? Bastion is after a ship at range 1 to 2 is dealt a damage card, you may acquire a lock on that ship. So lots of target lock stuff going on in this game.
Very much so. Very much
and
so.
That is an aggressive boost.
Yeah. It's making me want. I think that we might see a bump from Greer, and then a bump into the back of that from Chewie, and then bye-bye Red. Because there's no way Red survives 2 range 1 shots from a T-70 and a Falcon.
Probably not.
Say that it's a TIE fighter.
I mean, it could.
Yeah. We've seen crazier things.
We definitely have. Nightfall jamming himself.
Yeah, with the enhanced jabbing suite.
Which is such a weird thing to do normally.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you ever do that? Oh, right, because you're much harder to hit.
Yeah.
It's weird because you're basically sacrificing tokens for an extra green dice.
Yeah, and then other ones as well, when jam tokens are removed, get tokens for certain criteria.
So yeah, I like that there is actually a ship now that sort of leans into jamming a bit more heavily.
Ooh,
that's okay.
4 forwards using Greer's ability to rotate.
Clears the stress.
I think at this stage we kind of have to say it's bye-bye to Red. Like, he's got 3.
If that Red Epsilon Squadron cadet survives this round,
MVP.
He's no longer a cadet.
No, he'll be an I6 at that point if he survives. Even if he just survives this round, I'd say I6 right. Oh well.
Chewie has bumped, but there's still the rest of Madbots list to go at him. So
crazy. But obviously for this game, Fraser has initiative. but we have had an update to how initiative is actually going to work.
Yes, that came out shortly before we started recording this, and it's basically random initiative for each round, but determined after placing dials.
Yes. So it's RPO, random player order, which it is crazy. So
it's going to be different. I don't think it's bad necessarily. It's just going to change how people approach stuff like this.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't actually had a chance to try it yet. So I'm kind of reserving judgment until
really.
Yeah, I mean, it's only literally, as I said, it came out about an hour and a half before we started recording this. So if anyone's had a chance to try it, they must have been sat there waiting for AMG and gone, we're starting a game. Oh, well, we best try it now. But it's going to be interesting. I'm going to get a chance to try it in the week, and I'm reserving judgment until then. The only thing I'll say is that if it was roll off for initiative for the whole game, that is what I thought they were going to do. But doing
then
it for every
one
turn,
player gets an advantage for the whole game potentially.
But then it'd be similar to bids. Like at least this way, you don't just out and out list build for it.
So I agree that having it be random is better than having one person have it for the whole game.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see, and the way they're doing it as well is quite interesting. Like each player rolls 3 attack dice.
Yeah,
and you
I
get
don't
the
know
order.
why they don't just do one red die as a 50-50. Because you get the same results, surely.
Yeah, hits or misses.
You're like doing a mini final salvo every round. But we'll leave that conversation for now because I think we've got some shooting.
Yeah, it looks like null on to Tezza, and that is 1 hit through.
1 hit onto the healthy Y-Wing. Not too bad.
Could be healthier if it had wartime loadout.
It could, but it wouldn't have that calculate.
True. And it is now interesting to see, can Red survive? So
this is, I think, Greer out the back.
Yeah, 2 hits.
I believe
that was actually Tezza. Oh no, it was Greer out the back, and now it's Tezza. That's using Tezza's ability to get rerolls there because there are ships in either side of the arc. That's 1 damage because there was an evade token, so that's the shield down. So far, not doing too bad. But it does now have a T-70 to contend with, and they are not nice. You would disagree, obviously.
I mean, look at that.
Oh, 4 hits and a crit.
If you're using them, that is amazing.
Unfortunately, Red, you do not become an I-6 today.
It did take all 3 shots to take him down, though.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, though. There wasn't really anything else for them to shoot at, and not that it matters, it was a weapons failure at
And with a
end.
roll like that, damage is going through.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So, I mean, I think the only ship that could have shot elsewhere would have been Tezza with the dorsal turret, but...
It looks like we're measuring for Chewie.
Yep.
May have preemptively done Bastion, but it doesn't really matter on the turn order this time around.
Yeah, I mean, they did mention that. I mean, and in the end, didn't matter at all because Chewie whiffed.
Ah, well, there you go.
Unfortunately, there was a focus in there, so could not have heroiced.
That is the tricky thing with heroic. You roll all your dice, you go, it's a bunch of blanks and a focus, and that one focus I can't re-roll.
Yeah,
but it's still a cheap. I mean, it went up a point overall.
Ooh,
now there's 2 points flat. Ooh,
I mean,
shields are still a thing for the resistance, so the crits aren't terrible. But that's that
was a nice roll there from Blue, avenging his fallen comrade. But yeah, I mean, the random player order, it's going to be an interesting one to get our heads around.
I prefer the random to alternating, because with alternating, you can sort of time your initial approach to get the early advantage. But with it random, you don't know if you'll have the advantage going in, and you'll need to plan around that. And I don't mind that. The thing that's initially confusing to me is determining initiative after dials are set.
Yeah. So you set your dials and then you determine initiative, and it's like, okay. Because sometimes your thought process is, right, well,
I'll plan for a bump here and then move in for a kill. That's not really going to be an option unless you're really gambling on getting that, having initiative for that round sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, Breach with that free boost again.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
He's just got right behind the entire resistance list.
I mean, it's a bomber. It has no right to be that fast. And yeah, it's just there saying, you know what? Here I am. Come deal with me. I mean, admittedly, Nightfall is the fastest ship of the list, and it is basically trying to go, right, this is where they started. Maybe I'll come back around in a minute.
Yeah, Nightfall will turn up at some point, but for now, get Breach in. I'm assuming trying to get some torpedoes off on Chewie.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you've got proton torpedoes, they are an ideal. Chewie's an ideal target for those, in my opinion. Unless you do have something that's small, like an A-wing, and you're going, yeah, I could probably one-shot you right now. But
I guess the other
Chewie's
benefit
great.
to sort of coming behind the enemy is you can overtake them, get your lock from Breach's ability, and then start dropping some bombs.
Yes, absolutely.
In fact, even here, you could throw out your Chaff missiles potentially. There's a lot Breach can do here. I mean, admittedly, like almost half of Breach's points is upgrades, so you'd hope that there's something he can do.
Yeah, I mean, his upgrades. I mean, again, though, you look at it, you see how many upgrades he's got. It's only 24 points. And again, 12 points of that is the proton torpedoes. So his upgrades aren't expensive.
When you said it, like the whole thing was 60, I checked it. He on his own, he's 36 points.
Yeah.
That's really cheap.
I mean, that's the thing with upgrades nowadays. I find that they're either really cheap or quite expensive.
But he's 1 point less than Tezza with no upgrades.
Wow.
Like, Breach with no upgrades is 1 point less than the Y-Wing with no upgrades.
Yeah. It is mental. But it's, again, I love those new packs. I think both of them are really cool.
Yeah, they're both really good packs. If you've played those factions, definitely pick them up.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And if you want to get into those factions, they're not a bad place to start, actually. In fact, I think you can get quite a good intro into the Resistance by purely picking up Heralds of Hope and
this one.
Y-Wing pack. I mean, it gives you 5 ships for a start.
And you get an interceptor style ship, you get an all-rounder X-Wing, and you get a bomber/torpedo carrier.
It's a good place to start.
The other Resistance ships are all very specialist. Like Chewbacca here is the big double-turreted support ship. You got the big bomber. You got the weird boosting little fireball and all sorts of stuff.
Which is a ship I still haven't bought. I keep needing to, but
it's fun. I wouldn't use it like extremely competitively, but it is fun to put on the board and just go zoom.
Yeah, absolutely. But it looks like, I mean, what I'm loving right now is the fact that the Resistance and First Order basically switch sides. So Fraser and Madbots having to reach over to the table to get to their ships.
One of those games where it's just always asking your opponent, can you just move my ship? So, yeah, sure.
That is a perfect point to get a target lock and just go to town, I think.
Yeah, is it an action to deploy the Chaff?
You do that in the system phase.
It's the system phase. Okay, so that might be coming up in the future.
Say that proton torpedo is range 2 to 3, so he has closed a bit faster than you probably like, but you could.
I mean, maybe ignore Chewie and send a torpedo at the X-Wing.
Yeah, Bastion, that's what I was thinking.
Because you know you're not going to kill it, so you're not going to give Chewie a double tap.
Oh, looks like
I'm Fraser's not sure that's going to get out of the arc, though, is
it? I don't think it will.
He's going for the name of the channel.
He's trying to get out of arc.
I don't think he's done it.
No, he really hasn't. He really hasn't. That is such a tough... Getting out of the arc of a large base ship is not easy. Not easy at all.
Do you know what I hear helps you get out of arc?
Subscribing to this channel.
Yeah. That's a terrible plug, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's great. I love it. It's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, on that subject, it is worth subscribing to the channel, guys. We have weekly content coming out with extra videos all the time. Recently done a video on magnetizing your ships and then getting them out on display, which I'm not going to lie is great if your wife's getting annoyed with having little miniatures just sitting around all over the place. If they look nice on the wall, she's probably still going to be mad at you, but less so than if they're on the dining room table.
Also, they're less likely to get knocked around.
Yeah, true. There is that.
Seems to be a lot of thinking going on.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it's what action to do with Null and then who to target. I mean, right now...
Yes. Also well, I guess we already didn't really have the option, but with Breach being where he is, he's not going to be able to do his free little boost.
No, he's not next turn, but he's in a perfect position to drop an Electro Chaff right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if we're going to see 4 ships just going in on Chewie, which I don't think is a bad idea, to be honest.
I think that's a great idea. Especially since Chewie is in the bullseye of Nightfall as well.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't a great reroll with the target lock there. So getting the evade, Chewie being cheeky.
What have we got next?
So
presumably Nightfall next? Yep, Nightfall.
No, it would be Breach next.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that was
Null is
Null.
at initiative
Sorry.
7.
I looked at it, it was like Null's a 0. No, he's not, he's a 7. Now it's Breach, you're right. It's a good shot. Checking for that bullseye for Nightfall.
It's interesting they've got more ships that utilize the bullseye like that now.
I like it. It really rewards that specific, lining up your shots.
Yeah.
That's why I like playing the T-70s with the heavy laser cannon.
Yeah.
They're just a bit more forgiving in that if you didn't line up the shot, you still got 3 dice.
And I'm not going to lie, that's why a lot of people used to enjoy flying the ETA 2s. Oh, wait. No cannons
there
on
was
those
some silly
anymore.
shenanigans going on with that, though.
Critbot Addy and Critbot Obi, yeah, I will admit, they were silly, but they were also incredibly fun.
Well, maybe with the restricted lists of upgrades that they're apparently working on, you may be able to take some different cannons with them.
Yeah. Oh, that is some damage going in onto Breach there.
Yep.
2 shields down, but you kind of expect that when you get range 1 from Chewie.
That's a few more red dice going at Chewie.
Yeah. Oh no, that's going into. It looks like it's going into Breach.
It's a little tricky still who's shooting.
Yeah, actually, that was into Null. So shields down on Null. Still initiative 7.
Null's still 7. Okay.
Yeah, when you're not.
See, I like it when they get the rulers out so we can see what's going on a bit clearer.
I mean, when we start just going off on a tangent, it can be easy to forget who's shooting who.
I think he's trying to get a shot, maybe on the X-wing. I guess we'll see how many green dice get rolled.
So that's just 1. And I'm not sure if I'd have done that.
I mean, I guess no tokens.
I mean, I still would have gone for Chewie. Range 2 shot on Chewie would have been better than a range 3 shot
maybe he's out of arc?
No,
I feel like it's in.
He's definitely got arc on Chewie there. But now...
Some more shooting. Who's this? This is going to be Blue?
No, I'm just trying to...
There's a lot of pointing at various things.
Yeah,
Hang on.
I think this might actually be Blue into Chewie. I think that was actually Bastion into Breach. and this
Right,
this
okay.
was Epsilon into Chewie.
That makes more sense. Yes. Can we tell them to kill more stuff so that it's easier to track what's going on?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's much easier when things start dying. It's definitely a lot easier to check that. But I mean, we've spoken about the random player order. That's not the only thing that's changed recently either. There's been a few clarifications on things.
Yeah,
So
some of those are like the typical rules updates of yes, this is what this means.
yeah, so you flee off the board. Any part of you hits the edge of the board, you're dead. Bye bye.
But you
kind of knew it,
flee
but it
and you're
was
not destroyed, so that wouldn't trigger Chewbacca's ability here, for example.
yeah.
I think the other major change are these gas clouds.
Yes, actually, I think that's the major change. But there's some interesting changes other than that. But gas clouds no longer providing you with the auto evade on your blanks, on a blank even.
I think that's needed. They were being used so much, and being behind one felt like you were just behind a wall.
I know, I really liked it.
Well, yes, because you play like interceptors and stuff with low health.
I mean, it's overtune modulators being triggered there.
Oh, okay. See how many of those get used.
It's an interesting place for them. I think yes, it's not a bad thing. It makes them less of a this is the obstacle I'm going to take. Because before it was a case of, I lose an action, but nothing really bad happens. I could potentially
Speaking of obstacles,
we now have 7 on the board.
I love the exploding template for that thing.
Oh, it's so cool. It's
like something from the old 60s Batman show.
Yeah. I might now need to just like write
just
pow
find
on
a
all of them.
sticker for like blam or something.
Whammo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. I didn't even think about that. Now I've seen it, I cannot unsee it. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be some acrylic 60s comic style electro chaff tokens out there.
Please do it.
I need to make a note of that. But yeah, that's in an interesting position because I'm not sure how effective it's actually going to be, because looking at it, all of Madbot ships are going away from it, really.
But I mean, you've got one chance to use it. I feel like that was still probably the best turn. Yeah. Like, you use it when you feel like you can use it, rather than holding on to it and never using it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of the game and going, I didn't use that upgrade, but I really wanted to. And it wasn't because you forgot about it, it's because there was no opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, even, this time we've already seen Chewbacca use the modulators as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm in the middle of a fight. Sure, let's use it now.
I mean, the only thing on this board that I would expect not to see being used is the jamming beam, because 9 times out of 10 you include jamming beam because you're like, it's free, why not?
Yeah. I guarantee that's why it's there.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's always that's why you have integrated S4s or server meta S4s.
Weirdly, definitely don't use it against Nightfall.
That's a good point, actually, because
I don't know why you would.
Nightfall would be okay with that. Nightfall has the special jam token for himself rather than any other token, so he's not going to care. Oh, Daredevil boost as well. Nice, I like it. Also gives us a really nice side profile shot of that.
I like the Daredevil boost, particularly with that bullseye main gun. I feel like it gives you some more options to get shots.
Yeah, definitely. It is cool. And it's not leaving a lot of space right now for Madbots to move around.
No, he is blocking up all of these lanes between the obstacles.
Yep. It's just a wave of first order coming in. I'm not going to lie. It looks really intimidating.
Yeah. They've gone completely around and just behind the resistance, who are turning around a bit. I'm assuming that Tezza's turret is pointing to her rear.
I believe so. Oh.
Or does that clip it?
No, it
not
doesn't.
Quite, but is he going to have to go over it next turn?
I don't think so. Looking at where the little nibs are on the front, it might just
close.
miss it. But that is Greer really skirting those obstacles today. That's 3 obstacles he's like perfectly gone around.
I feel like maybe you just boost towards the upper 2 first order ships.
Towards Null and Nightfall, yeah. But no, it looks like he's sort of sticking further back.
Okay. Stay back, take some tokens. Chewie. Oh, does he clear that?
No, doesn't clear it, but he does. Okay. He clears past Breach there.
I mean, if you're going to bump into anyone, bumping into Null,
it's not bad.
It's all right.
I mean, it still gives. He's either got a shot at Blue, and looks like he might just clip. I'm not sure if he clips Nightfall actually, but he's definitely got a shot at Blue. So he's still got a shot. It's a bit disappointing though. He's used the modulators, and I'm not sure how many chances he's going to get to strip that. So he's probably going to end up straight. I guess
you save maybe 1 for defense and spend the rest on shooting this blue guy.
Yeah. And does Breach want to stay at range 1 of a T-70? I feel the answer is
because he didn't
not.
get to do the boost in the system phase, he could just boost now.
Yes.
It looks like that might be happening, moving that out though. Yeah.
It's almost a shame he doesn't have a mine rather than a bomb, because that would be perfect just to drop.
Well, I feel like
although
the start of the next system phase, if he drops a bomb, I think that will just hit Bastion.
But Bastion will be able to move away from it, unless he boosts bombs and hopes that Bastion chases.
Oh, I see what you mean about it being a mine now.
Yeah, because a mine would obviously trigger straight away. And
so where are we up to now? This is
actually Null had not moved.
Oh, wow.
And Null is going straight over it.
Oh dear. Well, I mean, it's not. Although actually, is he going to land on the rock as well? There's a lot going on here. Hang on.
There is a lot.
Let them move stuff around.
Silence in the back, please. I think he might be all right, actually.
I mean, he's definitely gone over the electro cloud.
Just waiting
for whatever that template's actually called. The electro Chaff cloud is the template name, apparently. I don't know. Is he on that rock?
I don't know.
Either way, he's going to skip his action step
because
of going through the cloud, and he will gain a jam and break all locks. I don't think there were any locks.
I think he did have a lock on him. So that lock goes.
And he did a red, so that's the stress token. He's just cleared that, and we'll get a jam as well. But the jam doesn't really matter because he doesn't have any other tokens to lose, so they might not bother putting that down.
Yeah.
Okay. So that also means that Null more than likely... okay, there's the jam token. More than likely will have to go through the cloud again next turn.
Yeah.
So that's kind of backfired a bit.
Yeah. But I think he'll leave the jam on there because now Nightfall might get an additional defense dice from that. Oh, no, it's in the attack arc. It's a really weird, really interestingly worded one. But that is Null.
I'm assuming into Chewie. Oh, you got to focus the Wookiee, right?
No, I think that was into Korea, range 1.
Okay.
Interesting choice. But I mean, you've got it. So
I guess potentially you look at it and you go, Nightfall has bullseye on Greer. We could take him out, but then
Chewie would have
can kill him, you give Chewie actions and
yeah. I mean, Chewie would have had two dice there as well because the obstacle. So
the obstacle may have factored into that one.
yeah. Breach
I
has no
still
shot.
feel like you just go for Chewie though.
Yeah. Looks like Nightfall does have the bullseye on Chewie. Is it range 1 though? That's the thing, because obviously
Yeah, I think that was a check for. I'm going for a bullseye shot, but is it range 1 in bullseye?
I mean it's 3 dice either way. So it's 4 dice. It's range 1 in bullseye.
Oh, that's good. I mean, again,
Oh,
Daredevil boost to get that.
yeah.
Worth taking the stress.
That's 3 hits. That's definitely worth it. You can't lie about that. That's a great shot.
And I don't think Chewie can shoot him back, although it's close.
I don't think he quite has art. If he does, it clips at the very back, but that would be obstructed. From how I'm seeing it.
Yeah. So now we're over to the resistance to see who's shooting. So
We've got
a lot of options.
yes.
I feel like you probably start with Chewie just to spend as many of those tokens as you can on the attack.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Madbots goes for.
See him check up as well, see what he's got.
Chewie's guns are sideways at the moment.
They are side to side.
I think we're measuring from Greer.
We're measuring for Greer. We're also measuring what Tezza has as well.
Okay.
So I'm assuming Tezza's got the dorsal in the rear then. That's only range 1 to 2.
Yes. So
2 dice. So that must. Doesn't matter. Didn't do anything. I think that was Greer.
I think so, because it would be obstructed into Nightfall if that was from Tezza.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was any shots from Tezza. Greer's just fired, so now it's over to Chewie.
He's got definitely range 1 on blue. I'm just not sure if.
You could try the obstructed into Null to knock him out of being initiative 7.
I think that might be what he's going for, actually.
I mean, he's
shout.
behind a cloud, but he has no tokens. So I think that is the plan. Is it range 1? Okay.
Oh, there's 2 calculates
and
spent.
there's 2 calculates spent. So potentially only 1 strain, which will be fine, really. Just do a blue.
Oh, and that's 1 going through.
Which is enough to knock out the ability.
Yeah, so Null is now initiative 0 again. I think it's worth it.
But he's not void.
We'll see if he becomes a void later.
Yeah, that'll be when he dies. If he dies.
I think that's a great shot because you've still got Bastion who can just take a big shot at either blue or long range.
Yeah, I think so. Who's this? This is blue, presumably shooting into Bastion, I guess, just right in front of him. And then
no, that was
shot. That was the other way around. That was Bastion into blue, I think, and now it's going to be blue into Bastion. Yeah. Trading some shots, but doesn't look like they're trading any damage. Lots of pointing, as is typical in a game of X-Wing.
Yeah. No damage, as is also
no damage. Yep.
Fairly typical in a game of X-Wing. And that is that.
So now that we're tidying up tokens, Chewie will end up with 1 strain because he had 1 green token at the end of that round after using the modulators.
Indeed.
You know, not a bad trade-off.
I mean, he'll just do a blue maneuver and get rid of it anyway.
Yeah. How many points is that modulators? I don't think it's a huge amount for an illicit.
2 or 3, I think. It's not expensive.
Modulators is 3 points. I don't think that changes on ship size. So
no, I don't believe so. Well,
I could see that being used quite a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be a fun one. But anyway, whilst we're waiting for them to finish dials and start their moving, just want to remind you guys, if you do enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, don't forget we have a Patreon where you can support us. It starts from £2 all the way up to £6. It'll get you a shout out on the channel, and if you did want to support us at the £6 level, you get the option to actually pick what list we will actually fly on the channel. So if you're interested in that, click the link down in the description below and sign up.
Send us some weird stuff to try out.
Yeah. And we'll do it because we're crazy.
Well, and your patrons and you're paying.
Yeah, true. But tell us what to do.
Looks like a bomb did get dropped.
Yeah. Again.
Opting not to do a boost.
I'm not sure on that one.
I feel like, again, it's similar to the electro chaff missiles, where it's like, you know what? I'm close enough that I'll give it a try. I've always got another charge on the proton bombs.
Yeah, but I really think that the better option would have been to boost and drop it, because now I am pretty sure that Null is now in range of that bomb.
Yeah, Null is not having a fun time.
And also, don't know where Blue can go to not be in range of that bomb.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's also true.
So, bombs are tricky, guys. They're tricky.
Yeah. And you know what, for all of the upgrades on Breach, still hasn't been able to launch any proton torpedoes. Has been too close. Has gone too fast, too furious. Hasn't done any Tokyo drifting, though.
You still haven't got over that pop culture reference session we had last time, have you?
It's a good film. It's the best of those films.
What, Tokyo Drift?
I feel like it is.
To be honest, it's been so long since I've actually seen them, but
they're silly and
they're silly
and fun.
And
just enjoy them.
And they've got even sillier by the looks of it.
Oh,
so,
yeah, I've not seen the most recent one.
Neither have I, but some of the stuff I saw in the trailer, I was like, that's crazy. But I'm wondering, I wonder if Blue's managed to get away there.
Oh, I'm guessing, yep. Predicting the bomb, I suppose.
Yeah.
Still might just be too close to it, though, so...
But we might get a feedback ping here. If they remember, will they check it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe just try and boost around a little bit. Oh.
So, it is at range 1, so... The bonus there for Breach that he gets the target lock.
And you know that that's going to detonate, forcing the boost.
Yeah. Is it... I mean, it's one of those weird ones. Is it good? Who's it good for?
I feel like you look at it and you go, he's probably going to do the boost anyway to get away from it. I'll just take the lock.
Yeah. I mean, you get the lock, which is good, but...
Yeah, I guess you do sacrifice the knowledge of you were going to get hit by it.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great if you had a ship that didn't have a reposition like that. You get the lock, and then they get bombed.
I suppose the best way to sort of calculate it is to work out how much use you get out of that target lock. Like, if they'd stayed there and taken the damage from the bomb, how much damage would they take? As opposed to you getting a reroll, how much damage do you benefit from that?
Yeah. I mean, in the long run, feedback ping is 1 point.
Yeah.
So it's not expensive.
Falcon bumping again.
No wonder the paint job is so scratched up, to be honest.
No wonder Chewie's so angry.
Yeah. I mean, he spends all that time fixing it up, and then he just keeps bumping. We need to learn to fly better.
To be fair, Chewie does some amazing flying, particularly in Last Jedi, like through those crystal caves. Such a cool sequence.
That is a really cool sequence. I think pretty much every sequence in which we see the Falcon flying fast and ridiculous is generally really cool.
It's such a weird ship, but somehow looks awesome. It's... I don't know how to describe it, but it's just iconic.
It really is. I think iconic is the only way to describe it. I mean, it's just...
Like, I normally really dislike stuff that isn't symmetrical. Like, I don't like Dengar's ship. I don't even like the YT-2400. But the Falcon, yeah, definitely, I'll have one of them.
I think it's only got a slight variation on being symmetrical, though. That small bit. Whereas, as you said, you look at the Jumpmaster and the YT-24, and they are very asymmetrical. In fact, I think they're the only 3 ships. I'm just having a quick look over my shoulder now at all the other ones. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the only 3 ships in the game that are actually asymmetrical in
Depending
that
on
sense.
how it's rotated, maybe the B-wing.
Yeah, maybe. No, because it'll still have it'll still have a line down the middle that's symmetrical. Maybe if you forget to put one wing up.
Fair enough.
But who cares? The B-wing is super cool, especially the new version of it where everything moves. Like, that's just cool.
True. Maybe it's because I don't have one of those ones. Oh, is this a bump from Breach? Be very careful with this template. Yeah, I think he's bumped. I mean, I feel like he was probably going to try and boost away, but
he won't be able to boost away there because he's bumped, skips his action step. You have to fully execute the maneuver to...
Okay, so now we're moving over to the bomb.
So, has that hit all of them?
I think that hit blue and null.
So that's null dead.
Oh, now he is void. Oh.
And that did hit blue. I think it just missed breach. There's nothing worse than your own bomb doing damage to yourself. I talk from experience there.
I mean, I know I said, like, oh, you got an opportunity to use a bomb. Throw a bomb down. This is why I don't use bombs. I don't think things through like that. I go, I can use a bomb. I'll do it. And then, I do that.
And that means there's no shot from breach because he's bumped and facing the wrong way. Nightfall doesn't have a shot. So we're moving straight down
Does anyone have a shot?
Greer has rotated.
Oh, okay. So they're the only shot this round.
A long range hit crit, and it's defended. Chewie does not have a shot, and Blue does definitely not have a shot. He's facing the wrong way. That's interesting. You don't expect that after, like, all the other rounds have been really, really well positioned, but everything now it's like everything's scattering.
Having seen that round play out, and even this coming round, I do feel like mines are better for the First Order bomber. Like, being able to boost in front of Bastion here and just do damage.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you were to boost in front and drop a prox mine, or even a coronet would be like pretty handy. But I think a prox mine would definitely be really
I think
good.
The difference would be that, with bombs you got some guesswork as to where things are going to end up, but with that boost in the system phase before dropping it, if you're going to land the hit or not.
Yeah.
So go for the mine, I think.
I mean, even like, oh my god, you could do such a good job with a cluster mine as well.
Yeah. Here comes another one.
Yeah. Again, I'm not sure if that's the right time to drop it.
I mean, chances of you hitting your own ships again at this point seem slim.
Oh yeah, unless Bastion does something really crazy, like a 3 forward and sits right in front of breach and causes breach to get hit by it again. I mean, you'd hate to see it, but you'd also laugh a little bit at the same time.
Now I'm wondering if breach is then going to try like a sloop, stay on the board, turn around and fire a proton torpedo at this guy, because he's got the lock.
Yeah, he's got the lock. Why not? I think that'd be.
I think it's just a matter of range.
Yeah,
which has been Breach's biggest problem with these proton torpedoes.
I mean, definitely, it's almost would have been better if instead of the electro chaff missiles, if he had like the rockets instead, like the proton rockets, or
just
something.
To give an option for range 1.
Yeah, and
maybe.
And that's still within the points because it would take the list up to 200 total.
And the new stuff just came out. Chances are he's gone, great, new ship, put many new things on here as we can. I mean, we've got the feedback ping, we've got the electro missiles, we've got the first order tech, or first ordnance tech rather.
We've got the enhanced jamming sweep.
Yeah, we've got so much new stuff. Yeah, let's see what it can do. Yeah. And so far, it can hurt null.
Yes, very much so.
Null doesn't like the new packs Confirmed, you heard it here first.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's great to see everything get used, which is really cool. And unfortunately, it's the way the game works. Sometimes it does backfire. But
yeah, although Nightfall, he's been dishing out damage.
he has. I mean, he's put
healthy.
more hurt. He's put the most hurt in onto Chewbacca there. And we say about obviously Noel going down to the bombs and everything there, but I mean the points aren't actually that massive. It's 56 to Madbots and 0 to Fraser at the moment. But on
the grand scheme of things, 56 isn't huge. I mean, it's one ship, really.
Yeah. All it takes is a couple points of damage onto either Tezza and Chewbacca, and then it's I think that would put it actually back into Fraser's hands then.
How many points is Chewbacca? This Chewbacca is 67 points.
So half points on Chewbacca would be 34. Yeah. And then definitely
half points on 2 ships or all of Chewie, and you could grab it.
Yeah. And I mean, at the moment, Breach is in a really nice position to get right in behind Bastion.
Yeah, it depends what Breach has dialed in.
Yeah. I mean, if he's dialed in, you almost wanted to dial in a 1 hard. I think is going to be the best option, but then that gets him close to that bomb. He'd have the target lock. Would it keep him at range 2? I don't know.
The other thing Fraser needs to do, if he wants any chance of coming back from this, is keeping that blue Epsilon Squadron cadet above half health.
Yeah. I mean, with 2.5 minutes to go, he needs to really get some hurt in. And ideally, a good proton torpedo is the way forward there.
Although, I mean, given having to turn to face Bastion and get away from the bomb, I don't know if, again, range is going to be a problem for the torpedo.
Yeah, I wholly agree there, and I think that's the problem. The 1 hard, I think, still gets him too close. He's got the target lock, but then he might just be too close to the bomb, which then, if he takes damage, that's 30 more points to... Oh, actually, that's the 2 hard. Is that...
But now he doesn't have arc. He'll have to
doesn't have arc.
Or barrel roll for the arc. I guess a barrel roll might get him close enough without getting hit by the bomb, or do you... No, you can't afford to take the bomb because you're on low-ish health.
He's already boosted.
Did he boost?
He boosted, then dropped the bomb. He boosted in the system phase, which means he can't boost again.
So it would have to be a barrel roll to get arc to even get some damage.
Yeah.
Just taking a focus.
I think that's out, unfortunately. It's disappointing because it was so very close.
But lives up to the channel name.
Yep. Absolutely. Bastion is once again out of arc. Can Nightfall, in a non-bullseye, unfortunately, get some damage on Tezza and score those half points?
Could get some crits.
2 damage. Oh.
Could get a crit.
Oh, just the one.
Which is the shield.
Which is still just above half. Needed 1 more.
You know what? Tezza did not need the
wartime loadout.
Although actually the Epsilon Squadron hasn't shot yet. There might be some damage coming through still.
Yeah. That'll be interesting if the Epsilon can catch there. Range 3, I reckon, definite.
This is, I think, Chewie into Nightfall.
Yeah, and that's 2 hits and a crit there.
Nightfall not jammed either, so no extra green dice, and that's not a good roll.
No, that's half points. What is the crit?
I don't know.
Waiting for it. It's a weapons failure. So
okay, well, they've already shot. It wasn't a direct hit. That would have been really bad.
No, luckily that came out for null earlier on the proton bomb. Luckily, unluckily, however you want to see it.
And now over to, I think, Bastion.
Bastion, then Blue. It's the final 2 shots of the game.
Can Tezza shoot backwards?
Uh,
Is that in range 2 for the turret?
I
Either way,
cannot
I
see.
think we've gone over to the X-Wing, so never mind.
Yeah,
That's a great roll from the
that's a
blue.
great roll from blue. Oh, it's just in range 3
Okay.
there.
2 direct hits.
Oh, just the one hit.
Oh,
Oh, and the reroll, it's still only one, unfortunately. But
nothing on the evade dice,
that's a
so half
damage.
points.
Half points.
Fraser points. Hooray!
Hey, oh, there's nothing. You know what? Fraser definitely deserved to get half points on something there. He flew those ships very aggressively, very well, and it was great fun to watch those ships getting around the board.
Yeah, he did a great job avoiding Chewie's double arcs and bumping him and denying him his shots.
I mean,
I
Breach
think
made it pretty much around the whole board as well. He's pretty much done a lap.
he very nearly has actually, yeah. And considering he sort of cut into the middle as well,
I was
yeah,
just,
a very quick bomber. I can definitely see them getting a lot of use.
yeah, I've definitely got to write a few lists with them, especially Breach and Nightfall look like they're a good combo, actually. So, but in the end, just the early taken out of red and getting Null down was definitely enough for Madbots there. But both players, really good fun, really great to watch. So thanks to the players for being on the channel for us there. But hopefully we'll be able to get some more interesting lists like these up soon. But James, I just want to say thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed seeing that
was a
resistance
good
list.
one to watch.
And hopefully it's given you a few ideas for some new resistance builds for yourself as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try out the Y-wing without the wartime loadout, and maybe see what I can do with the overtuned modulators as well.
Indeed. Well, I look forward to hopefully seeing that soon. But in the meantime, guys, thank you very much for sticking around and watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it. If you do, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget we have the link for Patreon in the description below. But in the meantime, we will see you next time.